Chapter 21. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The two of them were still together, but they were still together. Su Xiaoyao was still in a daze at this moment. He always felt that something was wrong with Lin Wanxia's explanation. Looking at Lin Wanxia's panic, it didn't seem like she accidentally fell while passing by her room. Su Xiaoyao shook his head and lay back on the bed. If he couldn't figure it out, he simply stopped thinking about it. At the same time, the Su family, after seeing that his parents and sisters were all asleep, Su Zining tiptoed to a utility room in the Su family, and after entering the house, he directly found the computer connected to the surveillance in the Su family villa. After sitting down, he inserted the USB drive, read the surveillance data, and then tiptoed back to the house. The next morning, Su Xiaoyao prepared to go to the hospital after dinner as usual, but before he went out, he was stopped by Lin Wanxia, and then he heard Lin Wanxia asked, "Xiaoyao brother, what are you going to do?" After hearing this, Su Xiaoyao was a little confused, and then he said, "I'm going to the hospital, don't you know?" Indeed, today is Sunday, and Lin Wanxia also knows that Su Xiaoyao went to the hospital. Lin Wanxia smiled mysteriously at Su Xiaoyao and said, "No need to go." "Huh? Why?" Su Xiaoyao asked in confusion. "Because I have found a nurse for Uncle Zhang, so you don't have to go to the hospital every day so hard." Su Xiaoyao was a little puzzled. After all, Lin Wanxia and Zhang Feng and his wife were not particularly familiar with each other. If they were really familiar with each other, they might have only met a few times, and they had always accompanied him. Logically, they didn't have any friendship, but why did she spend money to hire a nurse for Zhang Feng? Thinking of this, Su Xiaoyao couldn't help but ask with some confusion, "Sister Wanxia, why did you hire a nurse for Uncle Zhang?" Hearing this, Lin Wanxia glanced at him and said unhappily, "It's because of you." "Ah? Because of me?" Obviously, Su Xiaoyao was a little confused, and Lin Wanxia seemed to realize that she had let something slip, so she hurried to make up for it, and said with some guilt, "Yes, it's because of you. School will start tomorrow. With your personality, you have to go to class during the day and come to the hospital to take care of Uncle Zhang at night. If that's the case, your body will definitely not be able to bear it, so I found him a nurse. It just so happens that Aunt Chen doesn't have to be so tired." Indeed, Su Xiaoyao did think so. School will start tomorrow, and the exam is approaching, so it's impossible for him to delay his studies, but it was impossible to let Qin Xiaoji take care of Zhang Feng alone, as she was already a bit old. In the long run, her body would not be able to bear it, so Su Xiaoyao had no choice but to do this, attending classes during the day and going to the hospital to take care of Zhang Feng at night. But Lin Wanxia's move directly solved this problem, and at the same time, seeing that Lin Wanxia cared so much about him, he couldn't help but feel warm in his heart. In fact, it's not that he didn't want to find a nurse. With the savings in his hands, he could afford a nurse. It's just that only Lin Wanxia knew that he won the lottery. If he spent money to find a nurse, it would definitely arouse Qin Xiaoji's suspicion. After all, which student would have so much savings? And with the relationship between Qin Qingya and Qin Xiaoji, once Qin Xiaoji knew about it, Su Qingya would also know about it. If she knew about it, it was hard to guarantee that she would not tell Su Zijin. By then, Su Zijin would definitely be on guard after knowing it. Before, he thought that Su Xiaoyao did not have enough funds to hire someone to investigate him, so he never took Su Xiaoyao seriously, but if he knew that Su Xiaoyao had the ability to investigate him, he would be more cautious than before, and things might be much more troublesome at that time. So Su Xiaoyao felt that this matter should be kept secret, so he did not hire a nurse. After thinking for a while, he looked at Lin Wanxia and smiled. "Sister Wanxia, thank you." Lin Wanxia curled her lips and said, "Still polite to me? Are you treating me as an outsider again?" Seeing this, Su Xiaoyao could only wave his hands and said, No. Even the words that he had just said to return the money for hiring a nurse to Lin Wanxia were taken back, and he muttered in his heart, "Forget it, Sister Wanxia doesn't need this little money anyway." It can be seen that he is really afraid that Lin Wanxia will be unhappy. After seeing Lin Wanxia staring at him, Su Xiaoyao showed a flattering expression, and then scratched his head awkwardly. Lin Wanxia, who was standing by, couldn't help but smile when she saw Su Xiaoyao's silly look, and then said mischievously. "Okay, I'm just teasing you." In fact, it wasn't entirely for this reason that she hired a nurse for Zhang Feng. It was true that she felt sorry for Su Xiaoyao, but it was also true that she was on guard against Shen Qingyao. The way that woman looked at Su Xiaoyao was obviously very abnormal, and there were always things going on in her company, so she couldn't keep an eye on her. So I called my secretary last night and asked her to go to the hospital to find a nurse to take care of Zhang Feng, so that Su Xiaoyao and Shen Qingyao wouldn't have to be alone so often, and Su Xiaoyao would be able to relax a lot. "Let's go, pack up, and go shopping with my sister." Coming back to her thoughts, Lin Wanxia looked at Su Xiaoyao and said playfully, then she turned around beautifully, twisted her body briskly and went back to the bedroom, looking very happy. Okay. Okay. After Lin Wanxia entered the room, Su Xiaoyao came back to his senses and agreed. After a long time, the bedroom door was opened and Lin Wanxia came out. I don't know whether it was intentional or not, but Lin Wanxia wore a pair of black stockings today. Su Xiaoyao, who was sitting on the sofa waiting, saw this scene and his eyes were straight on the spot, staring at Lin Wanxia's slender and plump thighs. Lin Wanxia's cheeks were red and she lowered her head shyly. Are you bleeding from your nose?" That with Lin Wanxia's exclamation, Su Xiaoyao finally reacted. After feeling a hot stream flowing down his nostrils, Su Xiaoyao hurriedly wiped it with his hand, and then rushed into the bathroom without looking back, covering his nose. Lin Wanxia, who was now in the same place, smiled meaningfully after seeing this. Su Xiaoyao was indifferent when she saw Shen Qingyao wearing it yesterday. She thought Su Xiaoyao didn't like this outfit, but after seeing Su Xiaoyao's reaction today, her heart was suddenly filled with joy. It turns out that it's not that she doesn't like stockings, but that she doesn't like people who wear them. Thinking of this, her smile deepened. However, after being happy, Lin Wanxia pursed her lips again, blushing and muttering softly. "Will this stinky brother be suffocated? Otherwise, let him. Someday." In the bathroom, Su Xiaoyao recalled the scene just now, and his old face blushed, thinking, "It's so damn embarrassing." At this moment, Su Xiaoyao was so embarrassed that he could dig out a 3-bedroom and 1 living room with his feet. After a long time, Su Xiaoyao sorted out his mood and pretended to leave the bathroom as if nothing had happened. Lin Wanxia, who was outside, had lost the blush on her face at this moment. She naturally took Su Xiaoyao's arm, tilted her head and looked at Su Xiaoyao and said, "Let's go." Chapter 22. You are listening at novelfull.audio. On the street, Lin Wanxia held Su Xiaoyao's arm. Like a young couple, especially today, Lin Wanxia's outfit attracted the attention of many boys. At the same time, some boys looked at Su Xiaoyao with hostility, as if saying, "This boy doesn't look good, and he wears so cheap clothes. How can he find such a beautiful girlfriend?" Su Xiaoyao felt a little uncomfortable being looked at by a group of boys on the street. Seeing this scene, Lin Wanxia beside him couldn't help but smile. The two walked straight to the mall. To be precise, it was Lin Wanxia who brought Su Xiaoyao to the mall. This mall has 2 floors. The first floor sells women's clothing, and the second floor sells men's clothing. Looking up, there are not many people in the mall, because the mall is full of famous brand clothing, which is very expensive and ordinary people can't afford it. That's why there are so few people inside, and most of them are middle-aged people, who are successful people at first glance, so they don't have to worry about how expensive the things inside are. But there are also some young couples, who are basically rich second generation. In short, most of those who can appear here are rich or noble. On this side, Su Xiaoyao has been pulled to the second floor by Lin Wanxia. Su Xiaoyao was stunned and looked at Lin Wanxia and reminded, "Sister Wanxia, this is men's clothing." I know, that this sentence seems to answer Su Xiaoyao, but it also seems not to answer. Su Xiaoyao is a little speechless about this, but then, as if he had thought of something, he looked at Lin Wanxia with some complexity, and murmured in his heart. Could it be that Sister Wanxia has a boyfriend? He came here to buy clothes for his boyfriend. For a moment, Su Xiaoyao felt a little disappointed, and lowered his head in silence. Lin Wanxia, who was standing by, obviously didn't notice this. Soon, the two came to the largest men's clothing store on the second floor, which was also the most well-known one in the local area. "Hello, both of you, welcome." After entering the store, a young lady in the store came forward and greeted politely. Lin Wanxia nodded, looked at the young lady, then pointed at Su Xiaoyao and smiled. "Hello, pick a few clothes according to his figure." After hearing this, Su Xiaoyao was stunned, but soon realized that Lin Wanxia's boyfriend should be of a similar figure to him, so let him help try it on. "Okay, please wait a moment." After saying that, the young lady turned around and went to pick out clothes. At this time, Su Xiaoyao was inexplicably irritated. Lin Wanxia, who was standing by, might have noticed something. She stepped forward and looked at Su Xiaoyao with some concern and asked, "What's wrong, brother Xiaoyao? Are you feeling uncomfortable?" After hearing this, Su Xiaoyao paused, then pretended to be calm, looked at Lin Wanxia and smiled. No. That, Sister Wanxia, who are you buying clothes for?" Lin Wanxia was a little surprised after hearing this, and looked at Su Xiaoyao and asked back. "This is a men's clothing store. Who else can I buy clothes for if I bring you here? Are you buying clothes for myself?" "Ah. Sister Wanxia, are you buying clothes for me?" After hearing Su Xiaoyao's doubts, Lin Wanxia rolled her eyes at him and said unhappily. "What else? Look at the clothes you are wearing, they are all white." Su Xiaoyao's eyes suddenly brightened when he heard this, and his previous bad mood was swept away. After looking at the clothes on her body, she scratched her head awkwardly and said with a smile. I'm used to it." Indeed, Su Xiaoyao was still wearing the clothes he wore when he left the Su family. In the past 2 years in the Su family, he had no money to buy new clothes. His sisters were very annoyed with him, let alone buying him clothes, so he was really used to it over the years, so that after he had money, he didn't even think of buying himself clothes for a while. Hearing this, Lin Wanxia's eyes suddenly showed a touch of heartache, and she said softly to Su Xiaoyao. "Xiaoyao brother, promise your sister that you will never wrong yourself at any time, understand?" After hearing this, Su Xiaoyao looked at Lin Wanxia seriously, and then nodded heavily. "Miss, your boyfriend's clothes have been selected for you. Do you think you can let your boyfriend try them first? For a moment." Here, the saleslady had already picked out several sets of clothes, and came to the two of them, smiling. When Lin Wanxia heard the word boyfriend, her cheeks quickly turned red, and she secretly praised in her heart, "You are really good at talking." Su Xiaoyao, who was standing by, was also a little uncomfortable being called boyfriend, and was about to explain with a red face. Then she heard Lin Wanxia's voice. "Brother Xiaoyao, go try it first." After she finished speaking, she did not forget to push Su Xiaoyao to the dressing room at the back. Helplessly, Su Xiaoyao had to follow the saleslady's instructions. After seeing Su Xiaoyao go in, Lin Wanxia slowly showed her smile after holding it for a long time, and she felt happy in her heart. "Sister Wanxia, how do you see it?" Soon, Su Xiaoyao came out of the dressing room, and had already changed into the clothes that the salesgirl had chosen for him. He looked at Lin Wanxia and said with a smile. "Wow, brother Xiaoyao, you are so handsome." When Lin Wanxia saw him, she immediately became infatuated with him. She stared at Su Xiaoyao for a long time, and seemed to feel that she was not satisfied. Then she walked to Su Xiaoyao's side and circled around him a few times. Su Xiaoyao was wearing a blue suit. His height and weight were very even, so he looked very decent in this suit, and it also gave him a sense of maturity. No wonder even Lin Wanxia, who had been with him for such a long time, called him handsome. It turns out that clothes make the man. "Sister Qinya, let's go inside and take a look." Suddenly, a discordant voice came from outside. Su Xiaoyao immediately recognized the owner of the voice. Wasn't it Su Zijin? Sure enough, Su Zijin raised his chin and walked into the men's clothing store, followed by Shinqinya not far behind him, but Shinqinya seemed a little impatient, and would always look at her phone from time to time. "Su. Brother Xiaoyao, why are you here?" After coming in, Su Zijin saw Su Xiaoyao standing there in a suit. He was about to call Su Xiaoyao, but realized that there was Shinchinya behind him, so he immediately changed his breath. Su Xiaoyao frowned slightly. It didn't surprise him that Su Zijin could appear here. After all, it was normal for Su Zijin to come in and out of here with his current family background. It's just that Su Zijin's words brother Xiaoyao really made him feel sick, and even got goosebumps all over his body. Where is it? Where is Xiaoyao brother? After hearing Su Zijin's voice, Shinchinya also walked in quickly, her eyes still scanning the surroundings. Finally, she saw Su Xiaoyao at the door of a dressing room, and then ran towards him with a smile on her face, but after seeing Lin Wanxia beside him, her smile disappeared instantly, followed by a hostile look. Hey, isn't this classmate Qinya? Why, are you shopping with your boyfriend? Chapter 23. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The two of them were so busy that they had to face each other. Hey, isn't this Qinya? Why, are you shopping with your boyfriend? After seeing Shinchinya, Lin Wanxia on the side spoke first, and she spoke very naturally. After hearing this, Shinchinya's face turned pale instantly. She looked at Su Xiaoyao in a hurry and explained. No, Xiaoyao brother, it's not like that. He is not my boyfriend. Su Xiaoyao's eyes did not show much emotion after hearing this. Instead, Su Zijin, who was beside Shinchinya, looked at Shinchinya in disbelief and said. Sister Qinya, what are you talking about? Haven't we already been boyfriend and girlfriend for a long time? We hugged, kissed, and talked about our feelings together. Have you forgotten all this? How can you say I am not your boyfriend now? Enough. Shut up. Seeing Su Zijin chattering, Shinchinya shouted at Su Zijin with a sullen face, and Lin Wanxia smiled, or it can be said that every time Su Zijin said a word, the smile on her mouth deepened. Moreover, he did not forget to glance at Su Xiaoyao, and found that Su Xiaoyao was also looking at the two of them expressionlessly, as if he was watching a performance. Su Zijin, who was scolded, was completely dumbfounded. He stood there blankly, looking at Shinchinya with full of disbelief in his eyes. He couldn't believe that Shinchinya would scold him so loudly. He couldn't believe that Shinchinya, who was still affectionate with him not long ago, would say in front of others that he was not her boyfriend. This made him, who had been submissive since childhood, a little bit unbelievable. Then he looked at Shinchinya, put on a green tea face again, and said aggrievedly. Sister Qinya, are you yelling at me? After hearing this, Su Qinya was obviously impatient, staring at Su Zijin and said. Yes, I admit that we did have a romantic relationship before, but it was just a whim. Later I realized that I didn't like you all the time, but brother Xiaoyao, and I told you very clearly on the phone yesterday that we have broken up, and I am now going to pursue brother Xiaoyao again, so please don't mention the past again. Shinchinya's trick was really good. Not only did she let Su Xiaoyao know that she had broken up with Su Zijin, but she also indirectly told Su Xiaoyao and Lin Wanxia that she wanted to pursue him. Hearing this, Su Xiaoyao frowned, his eyes full of disgust, and sneered. Don't, classmate Shinchinya, I think you may have misunderstood. I don't like you, and I don't need you to pursue me. Why? We were so close before. Shinchinya looked at Su Xiaoyao with red eyes and said. Because, he has a girlfriend now. Is this reason enough? At this time, Lin Wanxia, who was standing next to Su Xiaoyao, spoke, and naturally took Su Xiaoyao's hand, and cast a meaningful look at Su Xiaoyao. Su Xiaoyao's expression was obviously stunned, and then he reacted. Lin Wanxia wanted to cooperate with him in acting. The purpose was to make Shinchinya give up the idea and stop disturbing him. After hearing this, Shinchinya trembled, staring at the hand held by Su Xiaoyao and Lin Wanxia in disbelief, shaking her head and saying. Impossible, you are lying to me, you. Shinchinya was halfway through her words when she suddenly froze. Lin Wanxia stood on tiptoe, holding Su Xiaoyao's collar with one hand, and a kiss like a dragonfly touching the water fell on Su Xiaoyao's lips. Su Xiaoyao stood there blankly, licking his lips. At this time, his mind was blank, and he looked like he had not yet reacted to what had happened. How about it, do you believe it now? Although Lin Wanxia's face was flushed and very nervous at this time, she still looked at Shinchinya and said with a relaxed look. No. Impossible, this is impossible. Obviously, Shen Qingya was unwilling to believe that the scene in front of her was real. At this time, Su Zijin, who was standing aside, stared at Shen Qingya, suddenly smiled, and then said, Shen Qingya, I really didn't expect that you cut off your relationship with me just for Su Xiaoyao, but, do you think that he will choose to be with you now after you hurt him so much? Hearing this, Shen Qingya turned her head sharply and stared at Su Zijin. At the same time, Su Xiaoyao also quietly took out her cell phone, turned on the recording function, and then continued to watch the two people as if she was enjoying the show. Su Zijin didn't care about Shen Qingya's gaze. Instead, he smiled and said to Shen Qingya playfully, Shen Qingya, do you still remember the incident in the corner of the playground when Su Xiaoyao hit me? Hearing this, Shen Qingya suddenly had a bad feeling, but didn't interrupt Su Zijin and let him continue to talk. I actually let him hit me on purpose that day. I just borrowed his hand, the purpose was to see what position he held in your heart, the result was exactly as I expected. You really stood on my side again. After hearing this, Lin Wanxia's face turned pale. She gritted her teeth and stared at Su Zijin and said word by word. You lied to me. Shen Qingya, who got the truth, was in disbelief. She couldn't believe that Su Zijin would plot against her like this, and she couldn't believe that she would hurt Xiaoyao for Su Zijin. Seeing Shen Qingya in such pain, Su Zijin laughed and said jokingly. That's right, I lied to you. I just can't stand Su Xiaoyao's comfortable life, he can spend the rest of his life in the orphanage, but why does he have to go back to the Su family to take away everything that belongs to me? So, I want to take away everything from him, including you. To tell you the truth, every time he bullied me before, it was a false impression I deliberately created, the purpose was to destroy his image in your heart. I originally thought that my poor acting skills would be discovered by you. But seeing you stand by me again and again, I am sure that you don't like him, so. Enough, don't say it, don't say it. Shen Qingya burst into tears, yelled loudly, and looked at Su Xiaoyao with panic in her eyes. Yes, just like Su Zijin said, if he treated Su Xiaoyao like this before, could he still be with him? In an instant, a wave of regret and tears fell, and now she understood everything. No wonder Su Xiaoyao ignored her, no wonder Su Xiaoyao deliberately alienated her. It turned out that this was all her own fault. Chapter 24. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The old man was in trouble, but he was still alive. Su Xiaoyao looked at Shen Qingya, who was crying like a pear blossom in the rain, without a trace of emotion in his eyes. Crocodile tears are never worthy of pity. Although Su Zijin had calculated Su Xiaoyao at the beginning, if Shen Qingya had paid a little more attention to him at that time, she would have discovered the truth of the matter. In the final analysis, Shen Qingya still didn't love Su Xiaoyao, otherwise, how could Su Zijin have intervened and separated the two of them? At this time, Su Zijin changed his previous calmness and looked at Su Xiaoyao, his eyes full of resentment, pointing at Su Xiaoyao with a ferocious expression and said, It's all your fault. Why did you return to the Su family? Everything should have been fine because you came back. Su Xiaoyao naturally knew what Su Zijin meant, so he interrupted calmly. But I didn't take away the things you thought belonged to you, right? Hearing this, Su Zijin smiled, like a winner, and regained his previous calmness. He looked at Su Xiaoyao and said, Yes, you didn't take away what belonged to me. On the contrary, I took away what belonged to you. After that, he looked at Shen Qingya meaningfully, and then smiled. You know, Shen Qingya and I were at that time. How lewd was she when she was in bed? After hearing this, Shen Qingya's face turned pale and her body couldn't stop shaking. She pointed at Su Zijin with an angry look and said, You are talking nonsense. Really? Then do you want me to show the video to Brother Xiaoyao? You are still there. Su Xiaoyao was very annoyed when he saw them, especially when they were still talking about some dirty things. You know, Lin Wanxia was still there, so he interrupted coldly. Enough, if you have nothing else to do, just leave. I still have to try on clothes with Sister Wanxia. Xiaoyao brother, you you listen to my explanation. Things are not what he said. Seeing this, Shen Qingya was immediately anxious and hurriedly explained to Su Xiaoyao, but he didn't want to listen to her explanation, so he looked at her and said with disgust. I'm not interested in what happened between you, and I don't want to know what happened between you, so you should leave. Hearing this, Shen Qingya bit her lips, clenched her fists so tightly that her nails dug into her flesh, and said with red eyes. Why don't you want to listen to my explanation? Su Xiaoyao raised his eyebrows and said in a cold tone. Then why didn't you want to listen to my explanation at the beginning? After hearing this, Shen Qingya stepped back, and her clenched fists loosened slightly, with a look of pain on her face. Yes, why didn't she want to listen to Su Xiaoyao's explanation at the beginning? If she listened to his explanation, would the ending be different? The answer is no. Even if Shen Qingya listened to Su Xiaoyao's explanation at the beginning, he would still choose to believe Su Zijin, regardless of other things, just because Shen Qingya didn't love Su Xiaoyao, so where did she believe? Shen Qingya, who was standing there, was in great pain for a moment. Her tears burst out like a dam, and she kept murmuring. I was wrong, how could I hurt you like this? But now, Su Xiaoyao was unwilling to even look at her, and just turned sideways to look at Lin Wanxia, smiling and saying. Sister Wanxia, let's go back and try these clothes. Lin Wanxia nodded in agreement, and then asked the clerk to pack up the clothes she had just selected. At this moment, Su Zijin set his sights on Lin Wanxia, and said with a smile. I was wondering how you could have the courage to leave the Su family. It turns out that you are being kept by someone. Yes, people like you who have never seen the world can be sent away with just a few dollars. You are really cheap. Su Xiaoyao on the side was fine. He looked at him coldly, as if he had long been accustomed to his attitude and was too lazy to pay attention to him, but when Lin Wanxia heard this, she was like a little tiger with its hair blown up. She stared at him intently, as if she wanted to kill him. Seeing this scene, Su Zijin seemed to be interested, and continued to speak. Oh, are you angry? Ha 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 ha, you don't really think that people like you can really compete with my Su family, right? Speaking of this, his eyes turned, and then he said with a lewd face. Or, big sister, you should follow me. Look at Su Xiaoyao's poor face. How can he compare with me? As long as you follow me, you will be the real wife of the Su family in the future, which will directly improve several levels. Su Xiaoyao's face turned cold instantly. I don't know why, after hearing Su Zijin humiliating Lin Wanxia, he was inexplicably angry. He walked slowly towards Su Zijin, grabbed his collar with one hand, and slapped Su Zijin several times with the other hand. Pa pa pa. Su Xiaoyao was a head taller than Su Zijin, so Su Zijin had no power to refute at all, and could only struggle constantly, trying to break free from Su Xiaoyao's hand. Soon, several scarlet palm prints appeared on Su Zijin's face instantly, and his ugly expression at the moment made him look extremely hideous. You dare to hit me? After hearing this, Su Xiaoyao just smiled disdainfully and said in a cold voice. Your mouth is too stinky, I will take care of it for you, and if you dare to say Sister Wanxia again, I don't mind sewing your mouth. Perhaps Su Xiaoyao's eyes were too cold at this moment, so Su Zijin couldn't help trembling, and then he lowered his head and dared not speak again. Lin Wanxia, who was standing aside, was overjoyed when she saw Su Xiaoyao defending herself, and her eyes looking at Su Xiaoyao were also full of happiness. She walked to Su Xiaoyao's side with a relaxed pace, looked at Su Zijin who was pinched by Su Xiaoyao's collar, smiled contemptuously, and said. Sorry, I don't know where you get the confidence to say that I am not as good as your Su family, but I tell you, I really don't like your Su family's small industry. Then he turned his head to look at Su Xiaoyao and smiled. Brother Xiaoyao, let's go. Su Xiaoyao nodded, looked at Su Zijin with a ferocious face and Shen Qingya who was in despair, and turned around without hesitation and followed Lin Wanxia. You wait for me. Su Zijin saw Su Xiaoyao and Lin Wanxia walking away, and then looked at their direction and said something vicious. Then he looked at Shen Qingya who was crying beside him, showed a disdainful expression, and turned away. Today, this layer of window paper has been broken, and he doesn't need to pretend in front of Chinchinya. He originally approached Chinchinya to take revenge on Su Xiaoyao, and now his goal has been achieved. Even if Chinchinya is still willing to be with him, he won't. After all, he and Chinchinya are just playing around, and he has never liked Chinchinya. Chapter 25. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The two of them were so sad that they had to wait for the next day. For a moment, only Chinchinya was left standing there sobbing. Her expression showed regret, annoyance, and helplessness, like an abandoned child, standing there blankly. Su Zijin deceived her and approached her with a purpose from the beginning. What's funny is that she also treated this beast in human form as a victim. She hurt the person who loved her the most again and again, until she finally pushed him away from her, and now, the person who once loved her the most has been pushed to someone else's side and has become someone else's lover. Whenever she thought of this, she felt very heartbroken. She didn't know whether it was because of her wrong decision or because she couldn't bear to see Su Xiaoyao had another lover. She didn't know how she walked back home. She only knew that she wanted to find a quieter place to confess. Brother Xiaoyao, you look so handsome today. In the car, Lin Wanxia looked at Su Xiaoyao from time to time and said with admiration. Su Xiaoyao smiled awkwardly and said, "It's not bad." Lin Wanxia seemed to have thought of something when she heard it. Her cheeks instantly turned red. She stammered and said, "That. I just helped you out. Otherwise, I don't know how long she would have pestered you." After hearing this, Su Xiaoyao's face also turned red and she said, Then, thank you Sister Wanxia." Then, there was no movement in the car, and the two of them looked very embarrassed. Su Xiaoyao licked his lips. Somehow, he still felt unsatisfied. Lin Wanxia glanced at Su Xiaoyao's action and glanced at the other side with a faint smile on her lips. The two first came to the hospital where Zhang Feng was. After entering the door, they saw Chen Xiaoji sitting aside to rest. With the care of the nurse, Chen Xiaoji would not have to work so hard. When Chen Xiaoji saw the two coming, she immediately went to greet them and accused them. "Xiaoyao, look at you, your uncle Zhang has me to take care of him. Why do you still spend money to hire a nurse? You are a student, where do you get so much money? Quick, dismiss the nurse quickly, keep the money for yourself, don't waste it on us." After hearing this, Su Xiaoyao touched his nose, looked at Lin Wanxia, and then smiled and said, "That, Aunt Chen, actually I didn't hire this nurse." "Ah. Not hired by you? But the nurse clearly said that you hired her." After saying that, she seemed to understand something, turned her head to look at Lin Wanxia standing aside, opened her mouth, but still didn't say anything. On the other side, Su Xiaoyao had to explain with a smile. "That's right, Aunt Chen, it was indeed Sister Wanxia who helped to hire a caregiver. She was afraid that you would be too tired and that I would delay my studies, so she hired such a caregiver to take care of Uncle Zhang." Hearing this, Chen Xiaoji hurriedly said, "Little girl, how can this be possible? How can I let you spend money?" At this time, Lin Wanxia on the side also smiled and looked at Chen Xiaoji, and comforted her softly. "It's okay, Auntie, I just happen to have a friend who does this, and it doesn't cost much to hire a caregiver. Besides, Xiaoyao's business is my business, and you are Xiaoyao's closest people, so we are all family, so let's not talk about two different things." Lin Wanxia's few words not only explained the cost of hiring a caregiver, but also helped Chen Xiaoji relieve her guilt, and at the same time cleverly brought the relationship between the few people closer. Su Xiaoyao was very impressed by her emotional intelligence. After hearing this, Chen Xiaoji took Lin Wanxia's hand, patted it, and then looked at Su Xiaoyao, saying with some guilt, "Xiaoyao, Auntie has dragged you down. Don't be like this, Auntie Chen, didn't Sister Wanxia just say that we are a family, so don't be polite." "Yes, Auntie Chen." After hearing this, Chen Xiaoji looked at the two of them shaking their heads helplessly and smiled, and said, "Okay, we are a family." Su Xiaoyao and Lin Wanxia did not stay in the hospital for too long. They chatted with Chen Xiaoji for a while and then left, the Su family, in the hall of the villa, except for the third sister Su, Zining, and almost all the others were there. Su Jingwo looked at Su Zijin with a sullen face and said, "Did that rebellious son really do it?" Su Zijin covered his red face and said with a wronged look, "Dad, you don't blame brother Xiaoyao, he definitely didn't hit me on purpose." Lu Feng, who was standing by, stepped forward and hugged Su Zijin and cried, "What do you mean it wasn't intentional? Look at these slap marks, how hard did he hit me? I really regret giving birth to him. This beast has such a vicious heart that he can even hit his own brother." Su Ziwei, who was standing by, also looked at Su Zijin with heartache and echoed, "Yes, look at how Zijin was beaten." "That's right, Zijin, don't speak for him anymore, we don't have a brother like him." The other sisters were also filled with indignation, and none of them looked happy, only Su Zihan's face flashed an unnatural look, and she looked at Su Zijin with a complicated expression and asked, "Zijin, why did he hit you?" As soon as the words came out, Su Zijin was stunned. If it was according to the attitude of elder sister Su Zihan in the past, she would definitely scold Su Xiaoyao first, and then comfort Su Zijin with heartache. Why is the elder sister's reaction a little different today? However, he still pretended to be calm and wiped his tears. Just when he wanted to make up a reason to slander Su Xiaoyao, before he could speak, the fourth sister Su Ziwei who was standing beside him spoke first. "Eldest sister, what's wrong with you? Why are you asking about the reason? No matter what happened, it was definitely wrong for Su Xiaoyao to hit someone." Sixth sister Su Ziqing also echoed, "Yes, what can't be said in a nice way? Do you have to fight?" In an instant, these words once again drowned out the questions asked by Su Zihan. "Okay." At this time, Su Jingwo, who was sitting on the sofa with a sullen face, spoke in a bad tone. "Zihan, if you see that beast in school tomorrow, tell him to come back and apologize to Zijin, otherwise, he will never step into the door of my Su family again in his life." "I can't do it, you should find someone else." Su Zihan refused expressionlessly, and then slowly went upstairs under the surprised eyes of her sisters and parents. Chapter 26. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After hearing this, Su Jingwo, who was sitting on the sofa, was stunned for a moment, and then his face turned cold again. He couldn't understand why his eldest daughter had always been very obedient and had never refused anything he asked, but today, she didn't give him face as a father, which made him a little angry, so he looked at Su Ziwei and said, "Ziwei, go, ask that beast to come back and apologize to Zijin." "Okay, I'll go to school to find him tomorrow." Su Ziwei agreed, and showed an expression that he would not give up until Su Xiaoyao came back to apologize. At the same time, in Su Zining's bedroom, Su Zining was seen with dark circles under his eyes, staring at the computer screen with her eyes like torches. It can be seen that she has not had a good rest for several days. "Brother Xiaoyao, this set is nice, try this one." "This set is also good, you must look handsome in it." In the apartment, Lin Wanxia was chattering and urging Su Xiaoyao to try on clothes. Su Xiaoyao, with a look of despair on his face, was pushed into the bedroom by Lin Wanxia to try on clothes. "Brother Xiaoyao, your figure is simply great, and these clothes are very decent." Lin Wanxia blushed and praised. Su Xiaoyao's figure is indeed great, especially his 8 abdominal muscles, which made Lin Wanxia want to touch them. Indeed, Su Xiaoyao has tried more than a dozen sets of clothes, each of which suits him very well, and each set of clothes has a different style of handsomeness when worn on him. Hearing this, Su Xiaoyao scratched his head a little embarrassedly and said, "It was the saleslady who picked it well." Hearing this, Lin Wanxia was immediately unhappy and said with a stern face, "So you mean I have no taste?" Su Xiaoyao was startled, and a bad premonition came to his mind, and he hurriedly said, "No, not Sister Wanxia, I don't mean that, I mean." Maybe he was too anxious, so Su Xiaoyao spoke incoherently. Lin Wanxia was amused by this scene and laughed, and said, Okay, I'm just kidding you, you pack these clothes first, and then hang them in the closet in your bedroom, I'll go cook." Okay. After that, Su Xiaoyao fled back to the bedroom. Lin Wanxia looked at Su Xiaoyao's back, smiled again, and then walked briskly to the kitchen. After Su Xiaoyao returned to the bedroom and closed the door, he leaned against it, his hand still patting his chest. For some reason, Su Xiaoyao was not afraid when others were angry, but he was nervous from the bottom of his heart when Lin Wanxia was angry. He was afraid that he would make her unhappy. Although she couldn't do anything to him, Su Xiaoyao was afraid. "Brother Xiaoyao, come out for dinner." Lin Wanxia's voice came into Su Xiaoyao's bedroom. Coincidentally, Su Xiaoyao had packed his clothes at this time. After hearing it, he turned around and walked out. I didn't expect that Su Zijin was such a person. At the dinner table, Lin Wanxia put some dishes in Su Xiaoyao's bowl and looked at him and said, at this time, she felt a little sympathetic to Shen Qingya. Meeting such a bad person was really a stain that Shen Qingya could never erase in her life. After hearing this, Su Xiaoyao's expression suddenly turned cold, but it was not directed at Lin Wanxia. He is a very calculating person. He will do anything to achieve his goals. He will not show mercy even if he is asked to plot against his closest people. This kind of person will be the loneliest in the end, because he values his own interests very much. For his own interests, he can even abandon family and friendship. I remember that before his rebirth, after he was hit by a car and died, his soul stayed in that world for 2 years. He witnessed with his own eyes how Su Zijin gradually became a person without emotions and only cared about interests. After Su Zijin returned to China that year, his father asked him to take over the company and let Su Xiaoyao and Su Zining assist him. However, after Su Xiaoyao was hit and died, Su Zijin began to really take over the company. He first sidelined his third sister Su Zining and then tore off Su Zining's identity as the vice president of the company. He said that he wanted her to go home and rest, and that he, Su Zijin, would take the lead in the future of the Su family. Su Zining, who didn't know the truth, was still foolish. She almost thought that Su Zining had grown up and knew how to feel sorry for her sister. On the day she left the Su group, she was so moved that she cried bitterly. Little did she know that their Su family's property was being taken over by Su Zijin bit by bit. It's strange to say, Su Jingwa clearly said that he would hand over the Su group to Su Zijin in the future, but why did he do this? It was not until later, when Su Xiaoyao's soul followed Su Zijin by chance, that he understood. After Su Zijin took over the Su group, he did not return to the Su family after get off work one day. Instead, he drove to a villa in the suburbs of Shenzhen. The location of this villa is very hidden, and ordinary people would not come here if they had nothing to do. Su Xiaoyao was a little curious, so he followed him with the thought that he was free. Indeed, Su Xiaoyao was indeed very free at that time, wandering in that world as a soul every day. Even though he knew he was dead, he still couldn't leave that world, the place that made him suffer. After a long time, he got used to that kind of life, and occasionally he could listen to other people's voices and secrets, which was not bad. He followed Su Zijin into the villa, and the people inside seemed to have heard the noise and walked downstairs one after another. What came into view was a middle-aged man, who looked drunk, probably just drunk. He was also very sloppy, with wrinkled clothes and a cigarette in his mouth, like an idle gambler. His sloppy appearance was out of place in this villa. After him, another person came out, a middle-aged woman. This middle-aged woman looked quite neat, and her overall temperament was not too inconsistent with this villa. However, it seemed that she had a fierce look on her face, which made Su Xiaoyao feel that this woman was definitely not easy to mess with. How could she be a good person if she could be with this sloppy man in front of her? Son, you are here. That the middle-aged man's eyes were a little sluggish, his face was red, and after a burp, he looked at Su Xiaoyao and said with a smile. Seeing this, the middle-aged woman behind him also smiled and greeted Su Xiaoyao naturally. My dear son, you haven't been here for a long time. Mom misses you. Su Xiaoyao's eyes widened instantly, and his expression was dull for a moment. Looking at the three of them, he said to himself. Are they Su Zijin's biological parents? Chapter 27. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. The old man was very happy. Humph. Don't say it so nicely. Don't I know what you are thinking? Su Zijin snorted coldly, took out a bank card from his bag, put it on the table, and then said coldly. Here is 20 million. Take this money and leave here quickly. Don't let me see you again. Before the middle-aged man could speak, Su Zijin's biological mother walked up quickly, picked up the bank card, and held it in her hand, as if she was afraid that someone would snatch it away. Then she looked at Su Zijin and said flatteringly, "Okay, son, we will leave right away and will never come again." After that, she pulled the middle-aged man with her hand. The man understood and immediately said, "Yes, we will leave right away, right away." Then the two turned and went upstairs to pack their luggage. It turned out that these two people were his biological parents. The man's name was Li Bo, and the woman's name was Zhou Wan. Li Bo was a gambler who was idle and lazy all day long, and Zhou Wan was a young girl who served wine in KTV before. Obviously, they were not good people. They met in KTV, and they both had improper jobs, so they got together soon, but they only got the marriage certificate and did not hold a wedding. The reason was very simple. If people like them held a wedding, people would gossip behind their backs. Soon, they had a child, and this child was Su Zijin. When Su Zijin was just 1 year old, his biological father Li Bo owed a large debt because of gambling. At this time, Li Bo had a crooked idea. He contacted a human trafficker and planned to sell Su Zijin and repay the gambling debt. At first, Zhou Wan was reluctant. After all, it was a piece of flesh that fell from her body, so naturally she was reluctant to part with it, but the gamblers came to her house every day to collect the debt, and the price offered by the human trafficker really made him tempted. So under Li Bo's persuasion, Zhou Wan quickly agreed. After the two sold Su Zijin, they repaid the gambling debt and ran away with the remaining money. The human trafficker who took Su Zijin away was noticed by a passenger when he got on the train and informed the conductor. Then he was taken away by the police halfway. After investigation, it was found that it was indeed not the child of the human trafficker. Seeing this, the human trafficker had to explain the truth obediently and told the address of Su Zijin's biological parents, but Su Zijin's biological parents had already run away with the money, and when the police arrived, they didn't find them at all. So they posted Su Zijin's photo online and issued a reward just to find his biological parents, but a few days later, his biological parents did not come to the door, but Su Jinggua's family, who had just lost their child, found the police. They said that their child had just been lost, so they wanted to adopt the child. Seeing this, the police handed Su Zijin over to the Su family. First, they already knew that Su Zijin's biological parents would never come back. Can a person who can sell his child to human traffickers still expect them to come back and take the child away? Posting the reward information online is just to see if Su Zijin's biological parents will repent, but now it seems that they have no intention of repenting at all. These few days, even if they rush back from abroad, the time is enough. Obviously, they have no intention of taking Su Zijin back. The second reason is that the local police also know the strength of the Su family. A CEO of a listed company will not abuse Su Zijin, so the police handed Su Zijin over to the Su family. Su Zijin's biological parents came to him when he was 16. At that time, Su Zijin was not moved by his biological parents. On the contrary, he was very scared because he was afraid that the Su family would drive him out of the Su family after knowing the existence of his biological parents. So, on an afternoon when he skipped class, Su Zijin agreed to meet his biological parents. He wanted to have a good talk with them. After the meeting, Su Zijin's father Li Bo opened the topic directly and explained his purpose. It turned out that after he left that year, he went to another city. However, how could a gambler quit gambling easily? It didn't take long for him to lose all the money left after selling Su Zijin that year, and he still owed a lot of debts. Just when they were about to, when Mo Zhan was looking for money, he suddenly found out that Su Zijin, who was sold by them, had become the real eldest son of the Su family. So they returned to the city, found Su Zijin, and asked him for some money to pay off the debt. To put it bluntly, they came to blackmail Su Zijin. Su Zijin realized that if the Su family knew the existence of his biological parents, they would definitely drive him out of the Su family, because at this time, the real young master of the Su family, Su Xiaoyao, had returned to the Su family. If the Su family knew all this, then all the property of their Su family would belong to Su Xiaoyao in the future. After all, if an adopted son whose biological parents are still alive handed over the Su family to him, then his Su family's family business would definitely change hands in the future. Su Zhenghua, the head of the Su family, would not fail to consider this point. After all, he is also an old fox who has been struggling in the business for decades, so, after considering these, Su Zijin finally compromised. He took out his pocket money and gave it to Li Bo and his wife. Although it was pocket money, it was still a considerable sum. The Li Bo couple may have tasted the sweetness, so they went to threaten Su Zijin every now and then and asked him for money. Even when Su Zijin was studying abroad, he would often send them money. Later, Su Zijin returned to China and designed a car accident, killing Su Xiaoyao. This matter was known by his biological parents, and they used this matter to threaten Su Zijin and asked him for 20 million to pay off the debt. Su Zijin had no choice but to compromise at the time, because he knew what kind of consequences would be waiting for him if the matter was exposed by them, but he couldn't take out so much money at once, and if he asked the Su family for it, it would definitely attract attention. So, he began to plan to sideline his third sister Su Zining, because the only one who could threaten him in the Su group was Su Zining. As long as he sidelined Su Zining, the entire Su group would belong to him alone, and he would have the final say on how much money he wanted to withdraw. Even Su Jinghua could not do anything to him. Finally, with his careful planning, he successfully took over the Su group. He also collected 20 million and gave it to Li Bo and his wife, and they also kept their promise and left the city. But soon, cracks appeared in Su Xiaoyao's company. Due to his improper operation, many of the company's projects had loopholes. There was even a death on the construction site, and he was busy for a while. Chapter 28. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The truth is that the company is not a good place to live. When Su Zijin was studying abroad, he did not follow Su Jinghua's requirements to learn the company's business. Instead, he was still living a life of luxury and drunkenness. He said he was studying abroad, but people who didn't know him thought he was going on vacation. This also led to frequent mistakes after he took over the company. At first, he didn't take it seriously, but until later, this mistake made him completely panic, because this time it is very likely to ruin the entire company. He was busy every day and didn't dare to tell the Su family about it. Later, his biological parents came back and asked him for money again, and they asked for 50 million yuan. At the first opening, they thought that Su Zijin was now the president of the company, so he could afford this money, but they were disappointed this time. After this incident, Su Zijin lost his patience. He knew that he could not compromise like this anymore, because his biological parents were vampires. The crisis of the company and the threats from his biological parents had already made him lose his mind. Finally, the tragedy happened again. He hired a driver again to hit and kill Li Bo and his wife when they passed a road crossing. He knew that only by killing them could he feel completely at ease, otherwise, the evidence in their hands would be enough to make Su Zijin live in prison for the rest of his life, and the evidence in their hands was certainly not just that Su Zijin designed to hit and kill Su Xiaoyao. From then on, Su Zijin once again put all his focus on the company, just to turn the tide, but things did not go as he wished, and his efforts were in vain. How could a person who knew nothing be expected to save a company on the verge of bankruptcy? Finally, the Su group could not hold on, but Su Zijin was unwilling to lose his hard-earned wealth. After all, it is easy to go from frugality to luxury, but it is difficult to go from luxury to frugality. He did not allow himself to live worse than before. In the end, he secretly sold the Su group to Huang Guida, a mortal enemy of Su Jinghua, at the lowest price, and recognized him as his godfather. Huang Guida is also the CEO of a listed company in Shenzhen, Huang Group. He and Su Jinghua's Su Group have always been competitors in the early years. It's just that Su Jinghua later suppressed it with thunderous means, so it has been slightly inferior to the Su Group in the following years. But who would have thought that this former old rival would defeat Su Jinghua so easily, and even acquired the company he founded? After Su Jinghua knew about it, he fainted on the spot and never recovered from it. Su Jinghua's daughters were also manipulated by Su Zijin and sent to Huang Guida's bed one by one. Su Jinghua was so angry after learning about the incident that he had a heart attack and died on the spot. His wife Lu Fang also committed suicide by jumping off the building because she could not bear the blow. Their daughters were unwilling to be humiliated and felt ashamed to see people. They committed suicide by cutting their wrists in front of Su Xiaoyao's grave. Before they died, they may have woken up. They all murmured a sentence. Xiaoyao, I'm sorry for you. The Su family, which was once a powerful family in Shenzhen, ended up in a miserable end in just a few days. Since Su Zijin recognized Huang Guida as his godfather, he has been spending his days drinking and drinking, ignoring worldly affairs, and concentrating on being his eldest son. Huang Guida himself did not let him get in touch with anything in the company. With the previous experience, how could he still keep a wolf in his home? Just give him some pocket money. It is much safer to keep him outside than in his own home. Su Xiaoyao, who watched the whole process from beginning to end, did not soften his heart because of the miserable situation of the Su family, or did he forgive them because of their belated confession. To be honest, he was disgusted when his sisters died on his grave. He was afraid that his sisters would dirty his reincarnation path, but he was unwilling to accept Su Zijin. He was unwilling to accept that a wicked person like Su Zijin would end up with such a good ending. He could not accept this, so in his next life, he must send Su Zijin to prison personally. He must make him pay double for the mistakes he made in his last life in this life. Hey, tilted his head and asked tentatively. Su Xiaoyao reacted, smiled awkwardly, looked at Lin Wanxia, cleared his throat and said. Sorry, Sister Wanxia, I was distracted. What are you thinking about? Are you thinking about some beautiful woman? Lin Wanxia's tone was jealous. Su Xiaoyao hurriedly explained. No, I just remembered some things before. Lin Wanxia heard this and pouted her lips and said oh. It was obvious that Lin Wanxia was a little unhappy. Seeing this, Su Xiaoyao didn't know where he got the courage, held Lin Wanxia's cheeks with both hands, and smiled. Sister Wanxia, I really didn't lie to you. I was indeed thinking about some things, but they were all sad things. I'm happy today, so let's not mention those, okay? Hearing this, Lin Wanxia stared at Su Xiaoyao's serious eyes, and then looked at the two big hands on her face instantly turned red, and she shyly slapped Su Xiaoyao's hand away, muttering softly. Don't mention it, don't mention it. Su Xiaoyao smiled, and it seemed that he was no longer angry, and then he lowered his head to eat, perhaps because she felt the atmosphere was too awkward. Lin Wanxia paused and said. Actually, Shenqinya is quite pitiful. She treated Su Zijin sincerely before. For him, she was willing to alienate you and push you away from her, but in the end, she found out that her sincerity was trampled by a scum like Su Zijin. It's really not worth it. Su Xiaoyao paused after hearing this, and then said casually. There must be something hateful about pitiful people. Lin Wanxia asked tentatively. Do you hate her? No, she has her own choice. I have no right to interfere. I just hope she won't bother me anymore. Su Xiaoyao answered casually, as if he was narrating something insignificant. Yes, he tried his best to catch the person, but he found that he caught not a person, but a wolf, a white-eyed wolf. When she turned around and wanted to find the person who had always been good to her, she found that this person was no longer there. He just couldn't accept this result for a while. After hearing this, Lin Wanxia pursed her lips and said. Then, will you choose to forgive her in the future? Yes, but not. As soon as Su Xiaoyao said this, Lin Wanxia's heart suddenly rose to her throat, and even her hands were shaking unconsciously. After Su Xiaoyao finished speaking, he was stunned for a moment, then smiled and shook his head, as if relieved, and said. Maybe I will forgive her in the future, maybe one day, I will sit with her and talk and chat like friends, but we will never be as good as before. I believe I am still the same me as before, but she is no longer the same as before. I will forgive her after she turns 18, but I will never forgive her when she is 18. After all, no one will stay in the past, and no one will stand in the same place waiting for someone. Lin Wanxia lowered her head with a blush on her cheeks when she heard this, and whispered. I will stand in the same place and wait for you to grow up, wait for you to marry me. Sister Wanxia, what did you say? No, nothing, let's eat. Chapter 29. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The next morning, Lin Wanxia sent Su Xiaoyao to school as usual, but this time, after Su Xiaoyao arrived at school, he did not see Shenqinya as usual, and when he passed by Shenqinya's classroom, he did not see her. This also made Su Xiaoyao have a rare quiet time. Xiaoyao, brother. Just when Su Xiaoyao was about to go to the classroom, a voice behind him stopped him. Looking back, it was his elder sister, Qi Zihan, who looked a little dazed and a little haggard. It seems that she didn't get enough rest, but Su Xiaoyao didn't care what happened to her. He just raised his eyebrows and said in a light voice, "Teacher Su, is there something wrong?" Hearing this, Su Zihan pursed his lips, took a step forward, looked at Su Xiaoyao, hesitated and said, "Why did you hit Zijin?" Although she had told her father that she would not let Su Xiaoyao return to the Su family to apologize to Su Zijin, but when she saw Su Xiaoyao, she couldn't help asking, but she didn't blame him, but asked about the reason. "Oh, I understand, it turns out that teacher Su came to ask for an explanation for his most beloved brother." Su Xiaoyao sneered, looked at Su Zihan in front of him, and spoke coldly, especially when he mentioned the most beloved brother, he deliberately emphasized his tone. "No. It's not like that, Xiaoyao. Brother, I just came to ask the reason, and I didn't mean to blame you." After hearing this, Su Xiaoyao's expression was stunned, as if he couldn't believe it. He was a little uncomfortable that his elder sister would come to him one day to ask him the reason for something, instead of blaming him right away. However, Su Xiaoyao soon recovered his composure, looked at Su Zihan, and said self-deprecatingly, "I am so lucky to see the eldest lady of the Su family come to ask me the reason so calmly, instead of giving me a few whips right away." At this moment, a trace of pain suddenly flashed in Su Zihan's eyes, and then he said with a guilty face, "Xiaoyao brother, listen to me, sister didn't mean it before, I." "Stop." Before he finished speaking, he was interrupted by Su Xiaoyao. He continued angrily, "I've already said that you are not my sister, please watch your words. Also, don't you just want to know why I want to beat Su Zijin? I tell you, because he is a beast, he deserves to be beaten. He dared to tease Sister Wanxia, I beat him lightly. You go back and tell Su Jinghua to take care of his son. If he dares to mess with me next time, it won't be as simple as a few slaps." After that, Su Xiaoyao turned around and left without stopping for a moment. Xiaoyao. No matter how Su Zihan called him, he didn't turn back. "Teacher Su," just when Su Zihan was staring at the direction where Su Xiaoyao left, Fatty Wang suddenly walked past her and called her. Su Zihan was startled, but still pretended to be indifferent, and said lightly. Fatty Wang saw this, looked at the place where Su Xiaoyao left, then looked at Su Zihan, and said in a meaningful and gossipy way, "Teacher Su, did you just quarrel with Su Xiaoyao?" Su Zihan glanced at him and didn't intend to pay attention to him, but the next second he heard a sigh, and then he seemed to be talking to himself and to Su Zihan. "Teacher Su, in fact, I already know about your relationship with Xiaoyao." Hearing this, Su Zihan suddenly turned his head and looked at Fatty Wang, with a question in his eyes, as if saying, "How do you know?" Fatty Wang saw this, shook his head and smiled, and for the first time, a serious look appeared on his fat face, and he said, "Teacher Su, my father is the chairman of the Wang Group, and he also has business dealings with you and your Su family, so my father knows a little about some of your family's affairs." After Su Zihan heard this, his face showed a look of sudden enlightenment. Indeed, Wang Pengzi's father did have some business dealings with Su Jinghua. Almost everyone in the circle knew about the recent events in the Su family, so Wang Pengzi's father couldn't have been unaware of it. However, he had only recently heard about Su Xiaoyao's affairs from his father. Wang Pengzi paused, then looked at Su Zihan and continued, "Teacher Su, I don't know much about your Su family's attitude towards Xiaoyao, so it's hard to comment. But I think Xiaoyao is really good to you, so I think, even if the whole Su family dislikes Xiaoyao, you shouldn't dislike him." As he said that, Wang Pengzi suddenly looked outside, as if he was recalling something, and then looked at Su Zihan expressionlessly and said, "Teacher Su, do you still remember the incident in October of the year before last when you were blocked in an alley and molested by a group of gangsters?" Su Zihan frowned after hearing this, and after a long time, she replied coldly, "What do you want to say?" She did remember this incident. She had just got off work and happened to have a car breakdown that day. So she was going to walk to the bus stop to take the bus home, but when she passed an alley, she met a few gangsters with dyed yellow hair. Several people directly blocked her in the corner. Just when the gangsters were preparing for the next move, suddenly, a man with his face tightly wrapped in a school uniform rushed out. He was thin and alone, but he dared to confront the gang of gangsters. In the end, the man's back was slashed, and then the gangsters ran away. When Su Zihan returned home, she happened to see Su Zijin sitting on the sofa with a weak face. Later, Su Zijin told her that he saved her. However, Su Xiaoyao often hangs out with the gang of gangsters. Su Xiaoyao must have something to do with Su Xiaoyao's molestation this time. After Su Zijin's words, Su Zihan soon believed him, and he beat Su Xiaoyao, who returned to the villa very late that day. Since then, Su Zihan's attitude towards Su Xiaoyao has become worse and worse. Wang Pengzi was obviously not expecting Su Zihan's attitude. After a moment, Wang Pengzi continued. Teacher Su, Xiaoyao once saved you, and you are his biological sister. Even if everyone sneers at him, you shouldn't treat him like this. What did you say? After hearing Wang Pengzi's words, Su Zihan suddenly widened his eyes and stared at Wang Pengzi, or it can be said that when Wang Pengzi finished the first half of the sentence, Su Zihan had already started staring at him. Chapter 30. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The truth is, you can't be sure of that. You don't know. Fatty Wang looked at Su Zihan with some doubt and asked. It was obviously my brother Zijin who saved me. How could it be possible? Before Su Zihan finished speaking, she heard Fatty Wang snort coldly and interrupted her. Heh! Su Zijin. Did he tell you? Su Zihan didn't answer, but stared at Fatty Wang, motioning him to continue. If Su Zijin told you, then you should be careful of him. If I'm not mistaken, this guy got along well with those gangsters back then. It's just that I didn't know the relationship between you and Xiaoyao at that time, and Xiaoyao didn't let me tell you, and your Su family's affairs have nothing to do with me. At most, we have a cooperative relationship in the family, so I don't bother to care about your affairs. However, Xiaoyao is my brother. Now that I know the truth, I have to seek justice for him. Indeed, Fatty Wang didn't know about Su Xiaoyao at that time. Every time he mentioned this to Su Xiaoyao, he always perfunctorily passed it over, so at that time he only knew that he was an orphan, and nothing else. Fatty Wang looked at Su Zihan coldly and continued expressionlessly. In fact, when you were blocked in the alley, Xiaoyao and I were nearby, and of course Su Jie. At that time, we wanted to help you call the police, and whether you could hold on until the police arrived depended on your luck. But Xiaoyao was so anxious at this time, he grabbed my school uniform and covered his head, then sent the two of us away, asking us to find someone, and he would hold those hooligans back. But we are brothers, how could we bear to let him go by himself? I went to deal with those thugs myself, but he said that if it was for his own good, then don't go over there. Although Su Jie and I were a little strange at the time, we didn't think he was joking, so we just listened to him and went out to find someone. But when we found him, he had already fainted not far from the infirmary due to excessive blood loss. When he was unconscious, I heard him repeating a sentence. Do you know what it was? At this point, Fatty Wang paused, looked at Su Zihan and asked. Su Zihan heard this, looked at Fatty Wang with red eyes, and asked in a trembling voice. What did he say? After hearing this, Fatty Wang showed a hint of sarcasm at the corner of his mouth, and said coldly. He said, don't let my big sister know. If she knows, she will ignore me. Teacher Su, if I'm not mistaken, you are the big sister, he said, right? But when he said this, Su Zihan had already burst into tears, but he still couldn't believe it. Now, she would rather believe that the person who saved her that day was not Su Xiaoyao, but someone else, because she couldn't accept it. If it was really Su Xiaoyao who saved her, then what had she done to Su Xiaoyao over the years? If it was really Su Xiaoyao who saved her, then Su Xiaoyao would never forgive her for what she had done over the years. Impossible. This is impossible. At this point, she could only deceive herself. Seeing this, Fatty Wang sneered. Teacher Su, I told you what I said. It's up to you to believe it or not. I just want to tell you that Xiaoyao is really good to you. Don't wait until you really lose this family relationship before you regret it. And, maybe, you have already lost it now. After that, Fatty Wang left without looking back. Only Su Zihan, who was standing outside the teaching building with red eyes and a daze, was left. Scar, yes, Scar. After a long time, Su Zihan came back to her senses and whispered softly, she then wiped her tears and went straight to the classroom where Su Xiaoyao was. Everyone in the classroom was studying, including Su Xiaoyao. At this moment, he was taking notes with his head down, and suddenly heard the door open. Those who came to class at this time were either teachers or late students. Sure enough, when he looked up, he found that it was Fatty Wang. Fatty Wang met his eyes after entering the room, but Su Xiaoyao saw guilt in Fatty Wang's eyes. This surprised him very much. He couldn't understand why Fatty Wang looked at him. It would be this look. He simply stopped thinking about it, lowered his head, and continued to take notes. The college entrance examination was about to begin, and he couldn't be careless at this time. At this time, another sound of a door opening rang out, with Wang Pengzi as a precedent. Su Xiaoyao didn't even raise his head this time. He might have thought that there were other classmates who were late like Wang Pengzi, or that the teacher had come, but these had nothing to do with him. He just wanted to study now, and no one wanted to disturb him. But as the footsteps got closer, he instinctively raised his head. Seeing that it was Su Zihan with red eyes, he was stunned for a moment. But in this moment of daze, Su Zihan had come behind him. Without saying anything, she suddenly stepped forward and lifted up Su Xiaoyao's clothes from behind, and also saw the hideous scar on Su Xiaoyao's back. At this moment, her tears fell like a flood, and one hand trembled to cover her lips to prevent herself from crying. There was also guilt and pain in her eyes when she looked at Su Xiaoyao. Su Xiaoyao reacted and broke free from her, looking at her coldly, and said in a cold voice, "Teacher Su, what are you doing?" However, Su Zihan couldn't bear it anymore at this moment, and took Su Xiaoyao's hand and walked out. Su Xiaoyao was caught off guard by her sudden move, and staggered when he was pulled by him, and was pulled out by her in almost 3 or 2 steps. "Let me go, what are you going to do?" Su Xiaoyao finally broke free from Su Zihan's hand, looked at Su Zihan and said angrily, "Teacher Su, if you are sick, please go to the hospital and don't bother me." After saying that, Su Xiaoyao turned around and was about to leave. He really didn't want to continue to entangle with this suddenly crazy woman. Unexpectedly, as soon as Su Xiaoyao turned around, a hand grabbed his arm again. Su Xiaoyao broke free again. This time he didn't spare any strength. He directly threw Su Zihan and staggered, and then looked at her angrily. "Brother Xiaoyao, follow me. I'll go apply medicine for you." Hearing this, Su Xiaoyao understood what was going on and snorted coldly. "No, it's already healed. Teacher Su doesn't need to worry about it." "No, Brother Xiaoyao, listen to me. I didn't mean it. I'm sorry. I was wrong. Sorry, Teacher Su, I don't understand what you are saying."